Yeah. Squatting on the cold parapet. Yeah. Squatting on the cold parapet of a Gates Avenue brownstone. Timberland scuffed, looking down at the dead zone. Watching 3 pigeons scrap over a healer's stale ride. 7 stories up where the soot meets the pale sky. My index fingers blackened with the grease of a Newport. Tracing ancient ley lines through the Marcy housing court. The J-train rattles the stained glass of the storefront parish, where the elders pray for things the landlords won't let them cherish. I drink the bitter dregs from a blue Greek motif paper cup. Cold sludge keeping the eyes sharp while the sun is coming up. Reading the masonry like Thoughts tablet in the clay. Wondering if the mortar holds until the judgment day. See the geometry and how the rusty power lines sag. A 5-line staff for the autumn wind to drag. Sodium vapor street lamps flicker on, orange and sickly, marking the border where the shadows take the block quickly. I ain't looking for an exit, I'm dissecting the source and the friction of the hustle and the magnetic force. They want you to think it's just asphalt and iron, you know. But there's a liturgy to the pavement. You gotta know how to read the cracks broadcasted live from the basements. AI audio creations. We alchemizing the dross. Listen. There's a Euclid in geometry to how the sirens slice the cold air. A jagged frequency that leaves the project stairwells in prayer. I spot the Fibonacci spiral in the way the garbage can smoke curls, rising from the sewer grates while the hidden truth unfurls. Yeah. Every alleyway's a lobe in a massive limestone brain, storing 30 years of local triumph in the neighborhood pain. We alchemizing the lead in the pipes to pure gold. The street level hermetic script that was never really told. The architecture of this misery was built with heavy hands over the bones in the cellars of our ancestral lands. I keep my gaze fixed where the Williamsburg towers lean, deciphering the Kabbalah hidden in the gray and the green. No distractions in the silence of this vertical climb. Just the ticking of the radiator and the weight of the rhyme. Yeah. Alchemy in the concrete. You gotta distill the poison before you can pour the medicine. Third Eye Emcees back on the block, navigating the frost. Audio creations, spinning on the rusted iron wheel. Listen close. Yeah. Listen close. 6 a.m. steam pipe rattle on the warp floorboard. Condensation dripping on the scriptures that I swore toward. Bananas on the sill, bruised black, turning over ripe. Scribbling the Kabbalion under the low voltage light. Ceiling plaster shedding like dandruff on the linoleum. I'm breathing in the carbon, coughing up the petroleum. The landlord's out in Long Island, sleeping sweet while my lungs wheeze. Burning dried sage, trying to put these dead youngins at ease. Boiling tap water in the dented copper pot, counting up the copper-plated pennies that I got.
Is that all we worth?
The whistle on the stove is a high-pitched frequency, cutting through the drywall, exposing the delinquency of a system built on that. We the collectors of the soul, shoveling this in the black coal to keep the pineal whole. I see the grandmothers in the curling steam rising, ancient silhouettes on the kitchen tile baptizing. My thoughts in the bitter herbs, distilling the truth from the broken glass and gravel in the gardens of my youth. Pacing back and forth, worn out souls on the floor, trying to find the axis where the spirit meets the law. It's the pressure in the kettle, so sulfur meeting the salt, alchemizing the struggle, turning lead to basalt. Third Eye Emcees in the shadow of the brick. Audio creations making the vinyl needle click, tracing out the borders where the physical dissolves, while the giant rusty wheel of the cosmos revolves. Draft creeping under the door like a cold fan. I'm writing paragraphs till my index finger is cramping. No heat in the building, got the car hard zipped to the chin, scraping off the frost where the mortar is thin. This ain't just survival, this is hermetic art, refining the mercury that's poison in the heart. I see the ancient glyphs in the grime on the double pane glass, MTA transit screeching, watching the masses pass, faceless copes in the smog, searching for the key to break the mental shackles of this concrete monopoly. The kitchen is a crucible, the mold is the flat, dodging the city marshals notice is setting traps for the rap. But the mind is a gold mine even when the pantry's bare. We pulling down the ether from the heavy winter air. No gold chains on the neck, just the weight of the crown, transmuting the heavy lead of this gentrified town. Transmutation. You can't trap the spirit in these coordinates. From the basement to the cosmos. Third Eye Emcees, recorded in the code, licensed by Audio Creations. Keep your fire lit.
Yeah. Still breathing the rust. Third Eye Emcees, we see through the lead paint. I Audio Creations, spinning the wheel of the world. Listen.
Counting out oxidized copper on the grease-stained formica underneath the buzzing ballast of a flickering halogen. Nostrand Avenue wet, damp wool dragging on my shins, while the bodega cat tracks the mice through the dry bins. We carry the structural integrity of these NY Chad tenements in our cervical vertebrae to weight a 70-year-old.
Sediments.
The nickel in my palm is slick with grease and cold sweat, while the lead in the tap water writes a silent cellular debt. I see the street corner transaction through the crack window pane, trading tomorrow's sanity for 40 ounces of Novocaine. We are the heavy elements, the transition metals of the block, polishing the brass knuckles just to keep time on the clock. No quick fixes here, no synthetic dopamine in the vial, just the sulfur in the salt of a miles-long trial. We're transmuting the heavy metal in the marrow of our bones, spitting alchemical scrolls into these public payphones. Copper for the Lucy, lead for the pine box. Who holds the key when they're changing all the iron locks? We're penning for the spirit in the gray slush of the gutter, while the television screens stutter and mutter. Heavy metals in the blood, heavy metals in the mind, leaving the fools go, and the cheap chrome behind. See, the ancient hermetics spoke of turning lead to gold, but they weren't talking about wealth, brother. They were talking about the soul under pressure. Survival in the concrete kiln. You take the heaviest, most toxic elements of your environment, and you make them indestructible. That's the frequency we're tuning into. I passed the scrap heap on the canal where the old world rots, where the skeletons of Chevys melt into abandoned lots. The rust is bleeding orange into the dark water below, a physical manifestation of the dreams we had to let go. We're alchemizing the heavy iron of our history scars underneath the cold surveillance of these artificial stars. I keep my jaw locked, molar grinding on a splinter of wood, extracting the wisdom from the poison of the neighborhood. There's a density to a soul that survived the long winter, that can't be splintered by the system's digital printer. We stack the lead weight of our grief until it weighs a solid ton, then we project it back at the sky until we block out their sun. This is the Third Eye Emcees, operating from the shadows of the crane, with their audio creations carving the groove through the pain. No polish on the leather, just the grit of the soul, finding the blueprint of the temple inside of the cold. We keep the core cold, let the furnace burn outside. We are the cooling rod. Transmuting the lead of the block into the gold of the mind, collective consciousness. Watch the drip. It's a cold distillation of the diesel and the rain-slick stone, sieved through the trauma of these broken brownstones. I'm dripping cobalt liquid in an amber glass vial to measure out the distance of this final heavy mile. Scraping copper shavings off the transit system rail, adding sulfur from the matchbook where the holy spirits fail. Mix the bitter extract of the gentrified block with the soot of the basement and the ticking of the clock. This is street level hermetics, alchemizing the dirt, applying ancient Kabbalah to where the nerve endings hurt. We are the Third Eye MC, shadows in the mist, writing sacred geometry with the scarred up wrist, spitting raw formulas through the static in the dust. They are audio creations, turning iron into trust. This is the essence of the burrow in a single slow draw, a steady hand holding the beaker, defying the law. Brooklyn tincture, let the lead turn to gold, a heavy remedy for the secrets untold. 1 part struggle, 2 parts grace, finding the Kabbalah in a crowded, dirty place. Keep the vial close, let the consciousness expand, healing the spirit with the grease of the land. They tell you the gold is in the vault. Nah, the gold is in the gutter, man. You just gotta know how to boil down the water. Listen, I see the elders on the stoop, brown bags in their palms, trading street parables like they're reading the Psalms. They're drinking to forget the way the red lining felt. I'm drinking to perceive how the cards are being dealt. There's a medicine in the rumble of the subterranean train, an 80 cycle hum that can separate the brain. No cheap illusions, just the grease on the grate and the smoke of the chestnut cart, sealing our fate. It's a heavy decoction of the concrete and divine, trespassing the borders of the territorial line. No labels on the glass, just the density of sound. AI audio creation, shaking up the ground. Take the bitter with the sweet, let the sulfur burn slow until the inner furnace starts to crackle and glow. We decode the hieroglyphs written on the brick, while the hourglass empties and the shadows grow thick. Formula is pure. Keep the vial sealed, peace to the collective.
They want us looking up at the sky for signs, but the cosmology is printed right under our boots. AI audio creations. Turn the headphones up. Third Eye Emcees.
Let's document the architecture. 3 steps of chipped brownstone, salt stained and gray. A 5-story ledger where the rent, bird, and prey. I'm decoding Krylon fat caps like it's Coptic script. Index, finger tracing where the silver paint drip. Old head on the milk crate, cold tea in his cup. Mumbling about the demiurge and how the game is rigged up. He spits on the asphalt, says the street grid's a map designed by John D to keep the mind in the trap. I'm scribbling the thesis on a discarded pick 4. Lead breaking on the paper, knee stiff by the door. There's a liturgy in how the hydrants get cracked when the heat wave hits and the precinct won't act. Cold water hitting exhaust pipes, steam rising slow like incense burning for the guys down below. No stained glass windows, just the grease on the pane and the hermetic laws written deep in the drain.
Read the Stoop Grimoire, learn the concrete law. Read the Stoop Grimoire, learn the concrete law.
Read the Stoop Grimoire, learn the concrete law. Written in the soot and the damp drafts we draw. It's the wisdom of the basement, the soot on the brick where the shadows get long and the dialect is thick. Every block is a stanza, every alley a seam, stitched together by the budget of a desperate scheme. The sun dies behind the projects, leaving copper and rust. We breathe the heavy metals and the pulverized dust. Hear the bones slamming on the table, 666, 4. An ancient geometry played out on the floor. There's an herb for the asthma, a prayer for the heat, a legacy of silence when they sweep up the street. We ain't chasing no phantoms, we just charting the stars. Spit shining our boots under Mercury stars. Third Eye Emcees, we the scribes of the block, alchemizing the trauma. While we watch the wall clock, I see the Fibonacci spiral in the rusted iron grate. Guarding the entrance to the governor's estate. No bookmarks needed, I can feel what we are just by the smell of the diesel and the burning tar. Don't look for the truth in the high price degree. It's in the wet oil slick, reflecting you and me.
Keep the ledger open, don't let them erase the margins. Recorded live, direct from the basement of AI. Audio creations, we see the geometry, we know the code. Read the Stoop Grimoire, read the Stoop Grimoire, read the Stoop Grimoire, learn the concrete law. Law, 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 law.
There's a bomb
So below, concrete under the fingernails. We decode the blueprint from the basement up.
I got the MTA soot cake thick under my cuticles, breathing diesel dust in these subterranean cubicles. The third rail is humming with the voltage of a dying guy, while transit officers patrol the platforms with a weary plot. I smell the sour damp wool of winter coats on the 4 train, staring at the scratched glass, reading the graffiti strain like ancient Sanskrit carved into the transit system's rib cage. We're just the carbon-based assets flipping the script page. No digital illusions here, just cold iron and damp clay. Walking through the turnstile, paying tolls to the light of day. I'm tracing the transit map, veins of a giant sleeping beast, alchemizing the lead in my chest, looking toward the east. Yeah, AI audio creations looping through the headphones, heavy boom-bap residents shaking the old bones. I calculate the weight of the loss in a leaking paper cup, dime bag residues and black coffee holding the spirit up. This is a subterranean temple where the silence is loud, a sanctuary built for the forgotten face in the crowd.
Hermes on the platform, looking at the cracked green tiles. The geometry of this city isn't random, brother. Every archway is a portal, and every delay is just time to remember what we forgot before we descended. Beneath the concrete sky, the pillars flick past like
like a zoetrope. We hang on metal straps suspended by a freight hemp rope. Third Eye Emcees deciphering the grime on the white tile, decoding the silent frequencies. Mile after mile is street level hermetics. The Cabalion on the beeline, turning bitter cold mornings and diesel into a design. This ain't for the trend chasers or the synthetic high. It's for the ones in the shadows watching the empire die. See the Fibonacci spiral in the curve of the tunnel's mouth, spitting esoteric doctrine from the north to the south. No destination in the middle of this loop we run, just the transit of the spirit till the work is done. If you wanna find the center, you gotta drop beneath the streets of the damn dark places where the city's heart and the bedrock meet.
Subway Soot, branded on the collar of the heavy coat, steering the iron chariot, keeping the mind afloat from the temple of AI audio creations to the concrete floor. Third Eye MCs knocking at the heavy wooden door.
Yeah. Project 718. Transmuting lead to gold on the fire escapes. Third Eye MCs in the brickwork. Broadcasting live from the vault of AI audio creations. East Coast esotericist. Lock the deadbolt. I grip a ring of cold brass, heavy in my wool trench pocket. Walking past the vacant bodegas, hands numb, eyes on the sprocket. The copper smells like old pennies in the sweat of the palm. A physical weight, while the 4 a.m. avenue is deceptively calm. I'm looking for the seal of Solomon on the brownstone stoop, stepping over damp cardboard, looping this dusty jazz loop. We lock the secrets in the cellar where the coal dust clings, hiding the scars of the hustle beneath these gold-plated rings. The sacred geometry in the teeth of this master blank, filing down the edges on the curb where the rainwater sank. Every tumbler's a trial, every turn is a test of the soul. Seeking the temple where the broken vessel is finally whole. Reading the brass like it's cuneiform, a dialect of the street where the pavement meets the spirit and the lessons repeat. I trace the Fibonacci spiral in the iron gates design, planning the escape route from the grid of the city's design. One turn to the left, let the heavy deadbolt slide. 2 turns to the right, where the ancestors hide. Keep the metal close, don't let the keyhole strip. We crack the seal before the morning drip. I pace the long corridor where the radiator hisses and spits, peeling lead paint like dry skin where the tenement splits. I see the ghosts of the tenants in the water-stained plaster, the whisper of the junkie, the silent prayer of the master. There's alchemy in this iron, the way it fits the keyway, turning street-level trauma into a spiritual freeway. I'm documenting the expansion, the widening of the eye, watching the lead turn to gold under a smog-choked sky. No master key needed when the blueprint is etched in the bone, decoding Metatron's cube on the payphone of stone. From the block to the cosmos, the frequency is aligned. AI audio creations pressing the vinyl of the mind. We strike the match on the concrete, let the sulfur burn bright, unlocking the gate where the shadow meets the light. Solvent coagula. Third Eye MCs. Recorded in the damn basement of AI audio creations. Keep your keys in your hand. Don't trust the landlord. Turn my headphones up a little bit. Yeah, right there. Left channel, keep that vinyl crackle in the mix. AI audio creations on the lacquer. Third Eye Emcees in the physical realm. Watch the masonry. I'm staring at the plaster till the lead paint starts to peel, struggling to separate the phantom from the real. These 5-story walk-ups are just headstones in a row where we bury all the secrets that the tenants shouldn't know. It's a cinder block vision, grayscale on the fire escape, watching how the shadow work begins to take its shape. The mortar's got a memory, a stamp from when the rain mixed with the sweat of laborers and bloodstains in the grain. We're decoding Hebrew letters in the cracks of the facade, while the MTA is screeching like the angry voice of God. No synthetic glare in the sector, just the sulfur of the street. In the center, stale espresso where the hustlers come to meet. I'm reading rough cut limestone like it's Torah for the blind, exhuming ancient mysteries, the master mason sign. They built these tenements to keep the spirit locked in cells, but we alchemize the sulfur till the project lobby smells like frankincense and myrrh. Cinder block vision, we are looking through the stone, rebuilding Solomon's temple on a foundation of bone. Yeah, we keep the third eye open when the city starts to shake under the weight of wet asphalt. For the promises we break. The Third Eye Emcees. Walk past the demolition site on 125th and Park, where the skeletons of rebar are rusting in the dark, not from light but from the friction of the iron in the dust. The memories of the neighborhood are ground down in the rust. They're selling us a future that we didn't ask to buy. Glass towers designed to block the cosmos from the eye, but I see the Fibonacci spiral in the brickwork on the block, the sacred geometry they couldn't put in lock. My Timbs are scuffing granite, I can feel the bedrock grind. Hermetic laws of rhythm in the back alley of my mind. We don't need their windows when the inner vision's clear, spitting esoteric parables to conquer every fear. The Third Eye Emcees, we are the architects of sound, laying heavy cornerstones deep beneath the ground. This is concrete theology, the gospel of the clay that no gentrified developer can never wash away. You see, they build these walls to keep us from seeing the horizon. But when you understand the alchemy of the brick, you realize the wall you just have to look through. Yeah. 4 a.m. in the bricks, steam rises from the asphalt seam, choking out the street lamps, jaundice flickering beam. I'm burning dollar store sandalwood on a cracked ceramic plate, sifting through the ash to find the key to the estate. The scent is heavy, thick like grease from the corner store grill, washing out the static of the thoughts that never sit still. Watch the smoke curl, a crooked hieroglyphic in the air, while the MTA underground rumble shakes my wooden chair. We wait for the sun like a parole man, waiting on his papers, plotting on how to survive the city's concrete skyscrapers. I see the sacred geometry in the red ember's eye, reflected in the grease of the window pane against the sky. Reading the gray dust like the ledger of my deepest debts, writing down the formulas between the cold sweats. This is the silent alchemy, transmuting lead into gold in the cold Brooklyn kitchen where the ancient truths unfold. 4 a.m. incense, drifting to the water-stained ceiling, looking for a method to numb the physical feeling. 1 part ritual, 2 part survival in the freeze. Third Eye Emcees, blowing wisdom through the autumn breeze. Keep the coal glowing, don't let the fire die
Audio creation, spinning raw wax in the heart of the town. I keep the window cracked 3 inches. Let the damp wind blow, let it blow. Underneath the heavy weight of the dark indigo, I saw the ghosts of the garment workers in the candles flicker, whispering that the clock is ticking faster and slicker. There's a power in the cedar smoke that clears out the room, sweeping away the dust of the daily metropolitan doom. I'm documenting the shift from the lead to the stone, sitting on this milk crate like a king on his throne. We're the dreamers of the borough with the calloused hands, spitting hermetic laws over raw, unfiltered bands. I see the Merkaba spinning in the grease of the stove, leading to the secret path that the ancestors wove. No wristwatch needed, I measure time by the code in my chest, ready for the transition when it's time to lay to rest. If you wanna find the light, you gotta dig through the soot and keep the third eye open when you're traveling on foot. They tell you the concrete is dead, right? They want you to think the pavement don't remember the feet of the prophets. But we know, our audio creation's on the dial. Keep your temple clean. Don't let the smog settle in your lungs.
Yeah. Da 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 dun 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 dun. Yeah. Hey, I audio. Hey, I audio. Turn my headphones up. The hum is too clean. I'm pacing out the yardage of this crumbling stoop, sizing up the rust where the milk crates loop. No compass, just the shadow that the street lamp throws, translating what the Kabbalion already knows. It's a Brownstone Calculus, gematria, a graft, where the landlord hoards the heat in the cellar. Draft is a constant, the window's just a variable frame, framing mothers on the 5th floor calling out a name. I see the golden ratio in the fire escape stairs, woven through the static of the local news blares. We're subtracting the tax that the precinct demands, smelling like damp plaster and grease on our hands. The Fibonacci spiral in the grease on the stove, searching for the code that our ancestors wove. We ain't solving for X, we're just dodging the hearse, alchemizing the dirt till we reverse the curse. Brownstone Calculus, we're dividing the bread. 1 part hermetic law, 2 parts grit, where the mercury rises and the brickwork is split. Keep the pineal sharp while the compass is spin. They want us to believe the math is neutral, but look at the grid. Look at the way they zone the projects. That's not geometry, that's containment. But the spirit operates on sacred angles they can't fence in. Third Eye Emcees, we don't just survive the structure, we rewrite the blueprint. I walk past the brick stacks where the zip codes cage, smell of wet cardboard and unspoken rage. See the shorties on the corner with the dice in the dirt, calculating probability of who gets hurt. That's the mathematics of the hungry and the cold, where the alchemy of survival gets bought and sold. I got Metatron's cube etched in the soul of my Timbs, walking through the valley of the broken down hymns. No Texas instruments, I do the sum in my chest, where the weight of the pavement is a physical press. We are the architects of what they left in the dark, igniting the fuel with a spiritual spark. From the basement apartments to the sky-high cranes, we're decoding the poison running through our veins.
see the invisible lines.
Yeah. I'm leaning on the scratched up. I'm leaning on the scratched up. I'm leaning on the scratched up plexiglass, smelling burnt Bustello. Outside the asphalt steaming, radiator humming low. The elder at the register's a priest in the dirty apron, tracing constellations in the grease stains he's making, reading fortunes in the digits of the midday lottery. We survived the concrete, but we're molded out of pottery. Clay vessels buying sage, Goya beans and daily bread, chewing on the heavy-ass truth that the ancestors said. Notice how the Goya cans are stacked in perfect golden ratios, ancient Kemet hidden in the dust on these radio dials. Fibonacci spiral in the stray cat's crooked tail, watching how the structural illusions of the district fail. This corner store's a temple where the dispossessed convene, where the gray of the projects meets the botanical green, scribbling these equations on a grease-stained brown bag, while the spirit of the block starts to stumble and drag. Keep the Bodega Oracle, decipher the code. Ancient alchemy on this broken down road. One part ritual, two parts grit, finding the divine where the steam and shadows split. Keep the third eye open, don't let the message pass. See your own divinity reflected in the scratched up glass.
They want you looking at the sky for signs, but the geometry is right here on the corner of Utica. Look at the pavement. Look at the scars. It's all mapped out.
See the shorties with the quarters buying quarter waters and chips, navigating systems designed to make them slip. There's a silent commerce, a spiritual exchange underneath the shadow of the train tracks. Everything is strange, we document the shift from the spirit to the physical. Third Eye Emcees make the mundane metaphysical. Rebels of the borough, we've been baptized in the rain, walking through the fire just to chemicalize the pain. Sacred Metatron patterns on the grease cake floor. Every heavy step leads to an unlocked door. No municipal permit, got the blueprints in the chest. AI audio creations got the frequency blessed. If you want the cure, you gotta look at what they discard. The stone that the builders refused is the guard.
Hey yo, let me get a Lucy and a ginger beer. Hey yo, let me get a Lucy and a ginger beer.
Yeah, pull the collar up. Third Eye Emcees. We back in the laboratory. Dust on the needle. Let the record skip. Frayed threads on my collar, moth eating it from the thrift. True story. Walking the avenue where the gray snow drifts, double and shift. Warm Newport ash flakes down on a salt-stained sleeve, measuring the density of the heavy truths I believe. It's brick on the block, wind sharp as a razor blade. Underneath the scaffolding where the market hustles fade, I see the Kabbalion in the frost on the brownstone pane. A sacred geometry of suffering.
the anatomy of pain. We seek the heat, but the radiator's dead in the wall. So we built with the math that the ancestors left in the hall. Fibonacci spiral in the slush near the subway grate. Watch this step, translating the cosmos while we navigate the weight, reading the frozen concrete like a Dead Sea Scroll. Third Eye Emcees, we reclaiming the soul. It's that raw bone wisdom from a project stairwell. Heaven in the mind, but we're walking through this frozen hell. Wool and ash keep the temple intact when the ice hits the pavement and the promises crack. One part resilience, two parts grace, finding the divine in a desolate place. Keep the code closed, don't let the spark die when the winner of the city tries to swallow the sky. Past the Bowery mission, Q rapping around the block. Despair on the faces, frozen hands on the pocket watch. The heavy wool coat on the veteran's back, a physical archive of the systems that attack. But we weave a thesis from the grit and the grime, unlocking the seal at the final hour of time. Insulate the chest cavity, protect the inner gold. AI audio creations keep the frequency bold. Metatron's cube in the weave of the yarn, a street corner prophet spitting truth in the storm. No furnace needed when the spirit is lit, solving the equations where the broken pieces fit. If you wanna find the summer, better dig for the spark and carry the torch through the belly of the dark. Yo, they think the cold is just a season. It's a design, a system to freeze your motion. But the mind is a sun done. Third Eye Emcees, we don't freeze, we crystallize. Keep the fire burning, don't let the ash blow away. Keep the fire burning, don't let the ash blow away. Don't let the ash blow away.
Yeah. They think the concrete is mute. They think the brick don't whisper. But if you tune your frequency past the FM dial, past the sirens, you hear the architecture talking back. Third Eye Emcees, broadcasting live from the damp basement of AI audio creations. Pay attention to the grammar. Spitting soot-covered scripture from a cracked lip, translating a tetragrammaton on a dirty transit slip. Ninth Dialect, we don't speak, we just project a breath, a heavy-handed dialectic between birth and death. The vowels of the brownstone stoops, the consonants are cold iron, navigating the grid like a street school blinds iron. No cheap illusions here, just the smell of wet asphalt. None of that. Where every stutter in the rhythm is a system fault. See the Fibonacci spiral where the project staircase wins, ascending through the damp dark where the spirit pines. We read the silence of the city like a Torah scroll, leaving grease and carbon on the fingers of the soul. Hermetic principles dripping from a leaky pipe. We don't wait for the harvest till the fruit is ripe. It's an esoteric grammar rising from the street sweeper's path through a mental geometry, calculating the raz. Speak the ninth dialect, crack the seal on the slate. AI audio creation spinning gold from the hate. Third Eye Emcees, holding the compass and the key, alchemizing the lead of this mental poverty. Keep the voice steady while the block is in the panic, translating the cosmic to the raw and the organic. I walk past the bodega on 125th and Lex, steam rising from the subway grate, choking the necks of the young disciples searching for a spark in the dark, pacing the cracked pavement of the concrete park. I saw the hunger in their eyes, the local dialect starve, while the laws of the matrix on their headstones are carved. But there's an alchemy in how the broken language equates, shifting the heavy burdens and the physical weights with the quiet linguists of the burrow, damp wool on our backs, documenting the struggle over raw SB 1200 tracks. I see Metatron's cubing the grease on the pizza box. We find the sacred geometry while picking the locks of the mental penitentiary. The tongue is a spade, digging up the ancient wisdom that the masters delayed. No dictionary needed when the logic is bred in the bone. We're building the temple with a single foundation stone. Wait, let the loop breathe. They want the formula, but they can't handle the heat of the crucible. You can't program the soul. You can't code the sweat on a man's brow when he's writing his own deliverance on a cold radiator. Yeah, we reconstruct the ruins of the lexicon. Third eye the armor that we got our breastplates on. From the Atlantic seaboard to the deep underground, AI audio creations making scripture from sound. The ink is dry but the blood is still wet on the page, breaking the bars of the system built cold iron cage. We don't run from the shadow, we embrace the design. Alchemizing the dark till the syllables align. Yeah. Ninth Dialect. Keep your eyes on the brickwork. Third Eye Emcees. We out. Yeah. Third Eye open. We tracing the ley lines through the MTA tunnels. AI audio creations on the boards. Let the wax spin. I'm scraping the damp mortar out the cold seams of the stone. In a city built on saltwater, soot in the unknown. Every brownstone brick is a calcified tear of the mason, holding up the weight of the gray sky. We're trapped in this caging. My ink is black tea and iron gall, dripping on the drywall. Third Eye Emcees, we decode the writing on the high wall. Yeah, I'm looking at the skeletal ribs of the tenements, finding the sacred geometry inside the elements. The marrow is the lineage, the mortar is the cement, connecting the pavement to the stars with a dream. When I see the architecture of a struggle that is ancient, spit Kabbalion principles, the patience who are flagrant. We the masonry of the unseen, rebuilding from the rubble, finding the gold in the dross of the daily double trouble. AI audio creations lace the heavy dark frequency, while I stand tall in my street level delinquency. My hands are calloused from the brickwork. No blueprinted maps for this soul mapping. Just the memory of the Nile riverbed carried in my joints. We don't pray to the statues they built. We just carve our own truths into the limestone. Walk past the abandoned sugar factory on the waterfront, smell of stale molasses and wet diesel on a winter hunt. Crumbling lime leaking out the cracks like an old sin. The gentrified facade peeling back to show the cold skin, but we're reinforcing the spine with the grit of the concrete. Walking through the slush with the scriptures under my feet. I keep my chest solid like a pillar in the temple hall, waiting for the day that these red line barriers fall. There's a heavy density in the soul that survived the block, that can't be bought or broken by the landlords of the clock. I see the Fibonacci spiral in the rusted fire escape, a divine blueprint taking the metropolitan shape. No masters needed. I got the compass in my own rib, working out the math of the struggle where the poor live. If you wanna build a kingdom, you gotta dig it down deep in the cold cellar spaces where the city refuses to sleep.
Solve et coagula. Dissolve and coagulate. Third Eye Emcees. AI audio creations. The architecture of the soul.
Yeah. Third floor walk up. Transmuting this lead into something sovereign. Third Eye Emcees in the physical. AI audio creations spinning on the iron wheel. Turn the headphones up. Watch the wick. Watch the wick. Watch the wick. Linoleum floor, coughing soot from the stove. Drafts leaking through the sash of this cold water cove. In the belly of the concrete where the tenements grown, I'm alchemizing my grief in the cell of my own. It's a kerosene prayer, sulfur stinging my throat. Woolen collar turned up, smelling of tobacco and hope. No radiator hiss, just the frost on the glass, sweeping up the calcium remains of my past in the ash. I see the geometry of survival in the sway of the wick. Avoid the traps of the state and the oil slick tricks. We burn the crude fuel that the builders cast aside, polishing the outer shell, the mask, the rock we hide. Reading the flicker like a scroll from the dead, applying street level hermetics to the daily bread. It's a liquid illumination, thick and unrefined, dripping from the friction of a concentrated mind. Kerosene prayers, choking out the damp and the cold, waiting on the spirit when the winter takes hold. One part desperation, two parts salt in the clay. Chasing after truth while the rest fade away. Keep the lamp burning till the brass starts to sweat. In the heavy duty silence where the debts are all met. They want us trapped in the lower three chakras, you see. Chasing the paper, the noise, the digital illusion. But the true gold isn't mine. It's refined in the dark. You gotta burn the dross of the ego to see the architecture of the cosmos on these brick walls. It's the great work right here on the pavement. Walk down Flatbush where the mercury vapor is dead. Iron gray clouds hanging low overhead. Saw a brother on the corner with the 5% math, charting out the stars on the cracked sidewalk path. No artificial shine, just the rust on the grate. Climbing to the heavens with this heavy ass weight. We the keepers of the flame that the system despise. Looking at the brickwork with the scales off our eyes. I see the Merkaba spinning in the heat rise blow, leading to a portal that the prophets used to know. No candle wax cheapness, we got the fuel in the lung, speaking ancient secrets in the modern day tongue. If you want the transmutation, you gotta brave the spark and carry the copper lamp straight through the dark.
Yeah. Write this down before the ink runs.
The street don't keep records in a vault. It keeps them in the silk. Listen to the pavement breathe. Yeah. I'm balancing the ledger on a damn stoop in Flatbush, smelling the wet cardboard, diesel fumes and burnt kush, scribbling the losses in the black composition book. The blue ink bleeds like the veins of a corner crook. It's a gutter ledger, a record of the low in theory. Eyes heavy, third eye sharp, never getting weary. Every puddle is a psalm, every sewer grate a sigh. Under the bruised weight of a Brooklyn sky, I'm reading the debris like a Torah of the gravel, watching how the threads of the municipal unravel. See the sacred geometry and how the grease flows from the gentrified heights to the project plateaus. With the accountants of the struggle, the auditors is a grief, finding the gold in the teeth of a tenement thief, parsing through the static, trying to make the spirit whole. No synthetic shortcuts, just the weight of the soul. This is bottom up wisdom from the concrete cracks, transmuting raw pain into the grooves of the wax.
Audit the pavement, calculate the cost of the wisdom we held and the innocence we lost. 1 part grit, 2 parts ancient grace, mapping out the limits of this cold urban space. Keep the book open, don't let the ledger close. The Third Eye Emcees, see how the deep current flows.
You see, they want you looking up at the billboards, looking at the illusions. But the truth is always at the foundation, in the soil, in the runoff. If you want to know what a society values, look at what they throw away. I walk past the storm drain where the runoff disappears, taking down the inventory of our collective fears. Soggy lottery tickets, empty vials in the dirt, the physical residue of how the neighborhood hurt. We calculate the value of the spirit in the rough, when the landlord is a ghost and the winter is tough. Keep my chest guarded like a vault in the dark, waiting on the flint of the struggle to catch spark. There's a hermetic law in the soul made of clay that the acid rain of the city can't wash away. I see the Fibonacci spiral in the grease on the drain, the golden ratio born out of the metropolitan pain. No CPA needed, I got the balance in my chest. With the Third Eye Emcees, we put the demons to rest. We paint the gritty noir with the master's brush, broadcasting the truth through the mid-tempo rush. Brought to you live from the damn basement station. AI audio creations with the holy vibration.
Yeah. Read the ledger,
Nothing is lost.
everything is recorded.
AI audio creations, testing the frequency. Yeah, Third Eye Emcees, lock the doors. Yeah, riding the metal spine of the city, 8th car, no heat, just the smell of damp wool and wet asphalt on my feet. At 3 a.m. the L trains are rolling steel sarcophagus, spitting out the remnants of the nocturnal metropolis. No daylight illusions, we left the hubris on 14th Street, where the corporate gods trade souls for a tax receipt. I'm staring at an ad for some predatory loan scheme, parsing out the subtext, decoding the cold dream. It's Kabbalion law written in the soot on the window pane. As above, so below, grinding through the freezing rain. They want us hollowed out, but the Third Eye Emcees decompress the frequencies, alchemizing the disease. Underneath the East River, water pressure on the brick. I'm clocking the geometry, watching how the shadows click against the green plastic seats, sticky with some spilled malt. Every sudden jerk of the brake is an ancestral assault. Subterranean scriptures tagged in fat cap, silver chrome, a street level hermetic searching for a way back home. Catch the last car, don't miss the transfer. 1 part iron, 2 parts grace, writing scripture on the glass in a hostile space. Keep your collar pulled tight, watch the third rail hum, waiting for the kingdom of the conscious to come. Stepped off the platform at Lorimer, smelling like stale gin and the heavy damp rock where the city lets the dark in. Saw an old head on the bench, finger stained with nicotine, muttering about the Fibonacci spiral in the machine. He's tracing the golden ratio in the grime on the wall, the forgotten architect watching empires fall. I keep my hands in my pockets, gripping my last copper token, a physical relic of a promise that was broken. We don't need a destination when the timing is divine. AI audio creation, spinning gold from the grind.
No synthetic distractions, just the raw soot in the bone. Finding the creator in the cellar when you're riding alone. We alchemize the transit, shift the lead into the gold before the grease on the tracks makes the spirit grow cold. Strike a single sulfur match, watch the illusions disperse, and write a brand new testament on the belly of the hearse.
They think the city is just concrete and commerce. They don't see the ley lines. They don't understand that the subway is just a giant nervous system. And we're the impulses, the thoughts they tried to paint over Third Eye Emcees. We don't just ride the train, we are the train.
Audio creations. Elevate the frequency.
Yeah. Pull the wool coat tighter. The radiator's dead again. But the mind is boiling. Turn the tape machine on. Let the reel spin. Rendering the mutton fat, boiling down the tallow on a rusted single burner where the street is shallow. Kevlar under the thrift store tweed to keep the spine straight. Brooklyn air tasting like diesel, sulfur and cold slate. I twist a rough hemp twine, raw fibers bite my thumb skin. Smell of cheap paraffin where the ritual and the slum blend. No synthetic illusions here, just soot on the cracked plaster. Watching how the wax drips, learning how to die faster or live longer. This is street corner hermeticism. 3 parts let 1 part go, refracting through the prism. AI audio creations got the acetate spinning backward. Third Eye Emcees, we the masters of the black word. I see the sacred geometry in the way the wit curls, holding all the ancient grief of these forgotten worlds. We're weaving the endurance, the foundations of the old way. Walking through the freezing rain, dodging what the cops say. Reading the grain of the floorboards like a map of the escape. Alchemizing every single bruise into a landscape. Tallow and twine, keeping the marrow tied to the cold concrete and the honor we keep inside. 1 part ritual, 2 parts callous hand, mapping out the borders where the shadows make a stand. Keep the candle burning till the zinc plate warps in the belly of the city where they're counting up the corpses. I walked past the ship chandler's shop on Metropolitan Avenue this morning. Smelled like tar, wet rope, and old oil felt more real than anything on the screen. We're losing the texture, man. We're losing the dirt. Pacing past the hardware spools, rope coiled on the pine floor. Heavy hemp fibers like the muscles of the blind poor. I saw the weight of the beeswax, the grease on the counter scale. The physical remains of a block that's not for sale. We're reinforcing the temple with the grit and the gray dust. The legacy is staying whole when the iron gates rust. Keep my chest solid like a pillar in the Masonic Lodge. Waiting for the day we don't have to duck and dodge. There's a density in the soul made of coarse thread that can't be bought or broken by the talking heads. I see the Fibonacci spiral and the rope's tight braid, leading to a sanctuary that the state never made. No microchips needed, I got the blueprints in the palms, working out the math of the street level psalms. If you wanna find the plug, you gotta go beneath the concrete where the gas lines leak and the ancient kermits meet. king of the county alchemy. Watch the lead turn. Third Eye Emcees in the shadow of the mortar. Fat congealing in the skillet, radiator spits rust. I'm tracing Merkabah wheels in the Kings County dust. Dollar van screaming down Flatbush, black smoking diesel fuel, alchemizing the lead my cousin took behind the school. Spit it out. Cinnabar on the Sill, turning the red into gold before the slumlord sells what can never be sold. We burn frankincense on a hot plate, choking on the smoke. AI audio creation sparks the circuit till it broke. Third Eye Emcees gather where the G train dies. No pocket scales in these coats, just the weight behind the eyes. We weigh the soul done. We graft the Kabbali into the water meter box. Sold to the copper wire, picking spiritual locks. The chicory tea is bitter, tap water runs gray. But we translate the Torah into things we can't say. You want the high gloss facade, we want the marrow bone. Screwing brass nozzles on the fire hydrants alone. Five-burble synthesis, salt and sulfur smell. Escaping the perimeter of this brick and mortar cell. Let the lead melt down till the crucible's clear. We don't buy the panic, we don't lease the fear. Yeah, Third Eye Emcees rewrite the dirty ledger. From the damn project cellar to the mountain of the treasure. Bodega cat hunts a rat by the garbage bin. Under the Williamsburg Savings Dome where the shadows get thin. The moon is a dry aspirin dissolving in the soup of the smog. We spit this heavy gospel through the metropolitan fog. No synthetic illusions, just the grease on the sleeve. In the sacred geometry, the basement spiders weave. AI audio creations built the heavy iron frame for the word of mouth disciples who forgot their government name. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Sweep the soot from the linoleum floor. Lock the triple latch on the heavy iron door. The mercury's rising, but the spirit stays cold. Cinnabar on the sill, let the truth be retold. Third Eye Emcees. We don't talk to the screen, we talk to the soil. Yeah, audio creations.
As above, so below. But the basement is freezing. Third Eye Emcees back in the sanctuary. Audio creations, feeding the real to real. Yeah. Let the steam clear the sinuses.
Single burner, red eye, boiling hyssop in a dented pot. Soot on the aluminum, scrubbing out the mental rot. Brooklyn frost on the window pane, tracing out the tree of life. We split a cold tin of sardines with a rusty pocket knife. No warmth in the radiator, just a metallic rattling hiss. Studying the Zohar over plates of seasoned fish. My cousin's in the corner sewing patches on a heavy wool coat, while I scribe the scriptures that keep the whole borough afloat. This is the high-minded struggle of the tenement poor, sweeping pine shavings and drywall dust off the floor. We twist copper ground and wire to crown the block, while the landlord counts the seconds on a broken wall clock. We don't chase the bag, we refine the raw ore, standing on the threshold of the 32nd door.
Wash me with hyssop, and I shall be clean.
Boil the bitter water on the coil till it steams. Purify the marrow in the calloused hand dreams. Third Eye Emcees, corner of the map, escaping the gravity of the psychological trap. The linoleum's curling like dead skin on a blistered heel, mixing sulfur with the flour just to make the cipher feel real. Utica Avenue, salt truck spitting grit on the curb. Gray morning, yellow teeth chewing on the bitter herb. In the subterranean dam, we weave the golden thread, tearing stale pita bread, keeping the ancestral spirits fed. The G-train rumbles like an old god beneath our boots, vibrating the floorboards, awakening the ancient roots. It's the alchemy of the alleyway, the dialect of the wet concrete, reading thoughts, emerald tablets cuts in the project heat. No shortcuts, no synthetic cheap suited glitz. Just the black ink bleeding through the margins of our wits. From the cradle to the pine box, we record the debt. AI audio creations keeps the master tape wet. The frequency is deep, it's the hermetic art, separating the subtle from the gross at the start. Audio creations, pulling signals from the dark.
Just a salt on the sill to keep the spirits out.
Just the grit and the ink.
Third Eye Emcees, we dissolve.
We coagulate.
No light without the shadow.
Peace, 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 peace.